I hope you're enjoying this. Hi everybody, chapter 6. Something changes then. Something in the air, something in the mood, something in us. Rue starts getting ready for college and assembling documents for his name change. Lily keeps going to tutorials. Fiona's aunt Sylvia has to do some kind of new exam for her job. Sophie has to look after Joss even more in the afternoons. I pick up more lunchtime shifts for Nuala. This is why we haven't seen each other in a week, when all summer we've been living in one another's pockets. This is what I tell myself. But I also know there's something else. That Aaron's voice over the radio speaker shook all of us, and the reality of the children of Bridget back in the Kelbeg starts to dawn on us all. They are back. No one wants to face up to it. No one wants to talk about it. And about a battle plan. No one wants to risk their life again. Maybe we were all given our gifts for a reason, and maybe this is it. But who wants that kind of responsibility? I ask you, Nuala, what she thinks of children's plan is. By her response, I realize she has thought of all of this already. It seems to me, judging by Aaron's invitation to you, that their focus on young people might be a way of recruiting talent, she says. I've been following them in the news. They are not so bothered about the adult sinners are doing. It's so much focus on the youth of today's, that they have a sensitive, which is rare enough, and now they want you, a second sensitive, which makes me wonder, what other witches do they have working for them? Nuala, I begin, shocked as myself for not asking this before. How many witches are there? She ponders this, and I'm relieved to see that it is not a stupid question. Wicca isn't really the kind of religion that is about keeping records, she says, which is part of why so many people like it. No, I try to pass what I mean exactly. Obviously, there are witches. The fact that I work in a shop that sells magical paraphernalia proves that. But there are witches, and there are witches. People who believe in magic as opposed to people who possess it. People like me and the lads. People who can do stuff, who are more connected to the supply chain thingy. Everyone has magic, Maeve, as I said with the diagram. Yes, but you know what I mean. I do, she says, and that's an even harder question to answer. Sensitives are rare, of course. 1 in 1 million, I would say. Perhaps less. That rare? She asks. I ask incredulous. And you somehow know 3, including heaven. She blinks at me. You are not supposed to bring up her sister. She brings heaven up with you. Sorry, I say. She nods. Sensitives are indeed rare, but there are also people who are born with natural abilities or tendencies towards certain elements. They say that the legends about witches who couldn't drown were just about a certain kind of freshwater witch, born near lakes and rivers, and the great courtesans were witches of fire, crafting love spells. This is all a bit of wafty for me, so flaky. Okay, I tried to bring Nuala back down to earth. How many people can do what Rue can do? What Lily and Fiona can do? Real stuff, electricity healing, stuff like that. She sighs. She hates when I get too specific. Not because she likes to be wafty, but because of Nuala, magic is so much more complicated than yes and no answers. This exists, she says, for different reasons and with different methods, but they exist. They are rare but not unheard of. We meet that night at the tennis courts for the first time in a week. Results on Wednesday, Rue says, and an air of hopelessness in his voice. Want me to dance? Want me to come? Mum and Dad are. Meet you after. Perfect. There's a faint sound of an animal screeching somewhere in the distance, of a fox defending itself, or maybe two cats in a fight. Fiona is quiet tonight. She's cutting cards, splitting the deck at random and looking at each result. The Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Swords, the Magician. I nudged her. You okay, little lady? I'm thinking, she says, about monologues. What? For what? Trinity auditions. They aren't even until next year. I don't think you need to worry. She cuts the deck again. The Four of Pentacles. It's really competitive, she says. Something like 17 places every year. I don't have the energy to reassure her, particularly when Fiona has gotten every part, every scholarship, and every test result she's ever wanted. Oh, come on, I say. You are Fiona Butterfield. You are basically failure-proof. Don't say that, she said coolly. Why? Because it's not true. She's picking at Mitch bites. She's picking at Mitch bites on her skin, digging her fingers in aggressively, watching the skin heal even as the blood is breaking the surface. Don't do that, I say, a little grossed out. Don't tell me what to do, comes the immediate answer. She's so snappy that Rue looks up and in alarm. Silence. I feel like I've done something wrong, but I don't really know what it is. Do you want me to read your tarot? 3-card spread? She nods. All right. Shuffle then, I say, and she does. The only sound, the dim, slippery whisper of the cards falling. Suddenly Lily speaks. New moon tonight, she says. It was new moon when you took me, wasn't it? Took you from the river when we saved you. Yes, it was a new moon. Witches are supposed to be their most powerful then. I think the books just say it. A good time for the dark arts, Fiona corrects. For our shadow selves. Lily seems to take this in encouragement. I've got something, she says. She gets to her feet, taking her water bottle as she goes. We all sit up, balancing our weight on outstretched hands. Another light show. This should be good. Lily walks to the end of the court. Fiona lays out her 3 cards. I flip the first one. The past card over. It's the sun. Joy, I say, with a faint smile. feeling appropriate after the summer we've just had. She flips over the next card, the present, the 9 of Wands. Defensiveness, I say automatically, feeling as if this really requires no explanation. What is she doing? Rue interrupts. There is the choking sound of squeezed plastic, then the sound of droplets. We look up. We can't quite make out what Lily is doing. It's too dark, and she's too far away. Rue squints. Is she wetting the fence? And before I have time to confirm or deny that Lily was wetted, the wire court fence, there's a sharp metallic shinging noise. Lily, Fi calls. What have you done? We each stand up gingerly, our limbs having started to fall asleep. There's another feeling of heat in the air, but it's not the sweating heat of magic working. It's something different. It smells of copper in the way copper sometimes smells, like blood. Have you charged the fence? I call out, and across the court I hear an exciting laugh. Gee, Rue, murmurs. Then he calls out to her, his tone cautious. Okay, Lil, well done. No response. I think it's time we go home, he calls again. We all look at one another, united in our disquiet. Can we go home? I asked, fear creeping into my voice. If we touch the fence, will we? There's a sudden flutter, then a loud, pained squawk. A thud of muffled fall. What was that? What was that? I don't know. Why? I'm suddenly whispering, and I'm doing that as well. So I don't know why I'm suddenly whispering. There's a croaking noise, a ferocious high galloping, and hot, dry smell of something burning, cooking. We move towards the sound. Lily meets us, her blonde hair full of static. It's a bird, a magpie to be exact. It has flown into the fence that Lily charged and has now fallen to the ground. It's trying to hobble around away from us, terrified of what else we might do to it. What did you do, Lily? Rue asked. Practicing, she says without a remorse. Like we are supposed to. Fiona bends down and tries to scoop it up. It fluffs up its feathers, trying to make itself big and threatening, while obviously terrified of her. Stay still, you idiot, she snaps. I'm trying to help you. This is to the bird. You so rarely see a bird close up like this. The shining beak, the beady eyes, they really are horrible in their own way. Fiona clamps her hands around the thing. It's his wing, she says. He's burnt it on the fence. I look to Lily, waiting for her to show some form of regret at the needless pain she has caused this random animal. Nothing. So heal him, she says. A few moments later, Fiona realizes the bird and it flies off, a little lopsided and not in the least bit grateful. One for sorrow, Rue says. City, the old wife's tale. He salutes it. Two for joy, Fi says, finishing the verse. Anyone a second one? No, I say weakly, and then, well done, Fi. But we are all unnerved by what just happened, with how easily a bird could have been something bigger, a fox, a dog, a person. A chilly breeze picks up, scattering the cards. We run to to pick them up, and they blow across the court. And whatever the final card was of Fiona's reading, the future card, as it were, is lost to the wind. Wow, it's getting really exciting. They're sharpening their talents. I hope you enjoy this. I enjoy reading it to you. Take care and have a beautiful time. Bye-bye.